Hi, this is the Spanish Fork Library. We're excited to share with you some of our awesome new books. Check them out today. The Wish List: Keep Calm and Sparkle On by Sarah Aronson. Isabelle has finally made it to level 2 of fairy godmother training, but just barely. She'll really have to step it up if she wants to pass the next challenge. Level 2 of training comes with a twist, however. Isabelle's newest practice princess isn't who she expected, and granting the new girl's wish means making another princess really unhappy. What's a fairy godmother to do? Isabelle will need more than a few magic sparkles to make everything happily ever after this time. Don't miss book 2 in the Wish List series. Fairy Unicorns: Magic Forest by Zaina Davidson. Zoe is staying with her great aunt when she discovers a magical world full of fairy unicorns. But soon Zoe finds out that Unicorn Island is in terrible danger. Can Zoe and her new unicorn friends save the island before it's too late? Check out this fun series today. The Whiskers Sisters: The Mystery of the Tree Stump Ghosts by Miss Patty. A ghost story has the Whiskers sisters spooked. The tale says a spirit haunts the forest's old tree stump, but when Tim the fox disappears near the stump, it's the Whiskers sisters to the rescue. Maya, Mia, and May set out to find their friend, and below the stump, a kooky surprise is awaiting them. Will their adventure have a fairy tale ending? Adorable whimsy flows sweetly throughout this volume. Fans of all things pink and cute will enjoy this story with its pleasing candy-colored palette. Check it out today. Survival Camp by Bear Grylls. It's a wonderful world out there just waiting to be discovered. But are you ready to be an explorer? Do you know how to cope with searing heat and intense cold? Can you find food and water in the wild? Could you avoid deadly diseases and fight back against maddening beasts? Let Bear Grylls teach you everything you need to know to venture through all of Earth's terrain, as well as through the air, over the seas, and under the waves. Go on adventure with this book today. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Ellingham Academy is a famous private school in Vermont for the brightest thinkers, inventors, and artists. It was founded in the early 1900s by Albert Ellingham, who wanted to make a wonderful place where learning is a game. Shortly after the school opened, his wife and daughter were kidnapped. The only real clue was a riddle listing methods of murder, signed by Truly Devious. It became one of the great unsolved crimes of American history. True crime aficionado Stevie Bell is set to begin her first year at Ellingham Academy, and she plans to solve the case. That is, she will solve the case when she gets a grip on her demanding new school life and her roommates. But something strange is happening. Truly Devious returns, and death revisits Ellingham Academy. The past has crawled out of its grave. Someone has gotten away with murder. New York Times best-selling author Maureen Johnson weaves a delicate tale of murder and mystery in the first book of a striking new series, perfect for fans of Agatha Christie and E. Lockhart. 8 Days on Planet Earth by Kat Jordan. How long does it take to travel 20 light years to Earth? How long does it take to fall in love? To the universe, 8 days is a mere blip, but to Matty Jones, it may be just enough time to change his life. On the hot summer day Matty's dad leaves for good, a strange girl suddenly appears in the empty field next to Jones' farm. The very field in rural Pennsylvania where a spaceship supposedly landed 50 years ago. She is uniquely beautiful, sweet, and smart, and she tells Matty she's waiting for her spaceship to pick her up and return her to her home planet. As Matty unravels the mystery of the girl in the field, he realizes there is far more to her than he first imagined. And if he can learn to believe in what he can't see, the universe, aliens, love, then maybe the impossible is possible after all. A heart-wrenching romance full of twists that are sure to bring tears to readers' eyes from Kat Jordan, author of The Leaving Season. Check it out at the library today. Kids Like Us by Hilary Rail. Martin is an American teen on the autism spectrum, living in France with his mom and sister for the summer. He falls for a French girl who he thinks is a real-life incarnation of a character in his favorite book. Over time, Martin comes to realize she is a real person and not a character in a novel, while at the same time learning that love is not out of his reach just because he is autistic. We love this book, and you will too.
The Stars Above Northumberland by Anita Stansfield. Her husband is dead, but far from grieving, young widow Lady Meriwether Sturgis feels nothing but relief and release. Enduring years of physical and emotional abuse at the hands of her cruel husband, Mary is drawn to the comfort of the one place sure to offer healing for both her and her children, Rosewell Manor. Read this book to find out what delights and tragedies Mary discovers as her childhood memories come to play in a new role in her now adult life. Suspect by Claire Polson. Detective Royce Fleming has dealt with the worst of the worst in his small Utah town, but even after years of dealing with criminals, he's shaken when a battered young woman enters his office. The victim of ruthless domestic abuse, Ellery Pearson, finally has the courage to share her painful secret with the kind officer. But for Royce, she's the prime suspect in the murder. Read this book to find out what happens to Ellery and how Detective Royce's past may be involved in this case and could cost him everything. Duel to the Death by J.A. Jantz. After taking down the man responsible for his best friend's death, Stuart Ramey thinks the case is finally closed. That is, until Stu finds himself left with a multi-million-dollar fortune in Bitcoin in a desperate bid by Frigg, a rogue A1 program created by the killer to keep itself from being fully deactivated. To sort out his situation and take Frigg down for good, Stu enlists the help of Allie Reynolds and the rest of his cybersecurity colleagues at High Noon Enterprises. But they are not the only ones who know about Frigg's existence. In this book, Stu, Allie, and their team will come to realize that everything has its price. Find out what happens by reading this newly released, fast-paced thriller. The Crown by Robert Lacey. Princess Elizabeth never expected her father to die so suddenly, leaving her not only a throne to fill, but a global institution to govern. Crowned at 25, already a wife and mother, follow the journey of this woman learning to become a queen while facing her own challenges within her own family. This is the story of how Elizabeth II drew on every ounce of strength and British reserve to deal with crisis, not only on the continent, but at home as well. Written by best-selling historical biographer Robert Lacey, relive the majesty of this story with meticulously researched images from that time and more. Endure by Alex Hutchinson. The capacity to endure is the key trait that underlies great performance in virtually every field. From a 100-meter sprint to a 100-mile ultramarathon, from summiting Everest to acing final exams, or completing any difficult project. But what if we can all go farther, push harder, and achieve more than we think we're capable of? Follow author Alex Hutchinson in this research-based book as he carefully disentangles the delicate interplay of mind and body by telling the riveting stories of men and women who've pushed their limits in extraordinary ways. Endurance, Hutchinson writes, is the struggle to continue against a mounting desire to stop. And we're always capable of pushing a little farther. Barking to the Choir by Gregory Boyle. In a nation deeply divided and plagued by poverty and violence, Barking to the Choir offers a snapshot into the challenges and joys of life on the margins. For example, Sergio, arrested at 9 in a gang by 12 and serving time shortly thereafter, now works with a substance abuse team at Homeboy Industries to help others find sobriety. This book is guaranteed to shake up your ideas about God and people with a glimpse at a world defined by more compassion and fewer barriers. Brighten up your life today by reading these real, everyday, make-a-difference stories.
Thanks for watching. We hope to see you all at the library soon.